You render 50 clips with Veo 3, then open the invoice and realize Hailuo AI would have cost you less than half that. Same output, very different bill. Veo 3 is Google's flagship quality-first model. Hailuo AI is Minimax's fast, cheap alternative. So which one is actually the safer pick for your workflow? Test 1, output quality. The number that matters right away is 84 versus 78. Those are the LMA win rates from the Artificial Analysis Leaderboard. And a 6-point gap in a community benchmark is exactly the kind of thing that shows up when a client asks why their clips look a little off and you don't have a good answer. I pulled the Artificial Analysis Leaderboard and Veo 3 sits at 84.0% on the LMA benchmark, with Hailuo AI right behind at 78.0%. These are community-reported figures, so treat them as directional, but Hailuo's 78% still beats Sora and Kling 2.0, so you're not exactly settling for something weak. Veo 3 takes output quality, and that 84% LMA win rate at the top of the leaderboard is the number you came for, so there it is. Hailuo AI is genuinely good, but Veo 3 is better, and that puts the score at 1-0. I know that quality gap because I've been living inside these tools long enough to feel when a render is off before I can even explain why. Drop a comment if the price versus quality trade-off has ever burned you on a project. Test 2. Generation speed. 1 minute versus 2 minutes per clip sounds small until you're iterating through 30 prompt variations on a Friday afternoon and every extra minute of render time is a minute. You're just sitting there, staring at a loading bar. Hailuo AI renders a 6-second clip in about a minute, while Veo 3 takes roughly 2 minutes for an 8-second clip. Normalized per second of output, Hailuo is about 1.5 times faster. And these are vendor-reported figures, so treat them as directional, not gospel. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Hailuo AI takes generation speed, and I didn't expect the gap to normalize that cleanly. But 1.5 times faster per second of output is a real edge when you're iterating fast. That ties us up at 1-1. Test 3. Pricing. 40 cents per second versus 15 cents per second. Run 100 seconds of video through the API, and you're looking at $40 versus $15, and scale that to a real production month, and that gap is not something you can just ignore. I pulled the numbers straight from the API pricing pages. Hailuo AI is 15 cents per second, Veo 3 is 40 cents per second. For a 10-second clip, that's 150 versus 4.0 worse, and Hailuo is 62.5% cheaper for the same duration of video, which makes it the obvious pick for anyone literally hammering the API with iterative work. Hailuo AI takes pricing, and the risk with Veo 3 is that the cost compounds fast at scale, which is exactly the kind of thing that bites you on month 2 of a project. That puts Hailuo AI ahead, 2-1. So Hailuo AI is cheaper and faster, but we've still got style control and platform limits to look at, and those two tests are where the production use case either holds together or falls apart. If you're building anything that needs a consistent look across shots, the next test is the one that changes your decision. Test 4. Keeping your visuals consistent across shots. You're producing a multi-shot brand video and your character's face changes between clips. That's a real problem that costs you reshoots, client trust, and sometimes the whole project. So advanced style control is the feature that keeps that from happening. I have to flag a caveat right up front. Both claims here are vendor reported, and I couldn't find an independent benchmark to verify the depth of either implementation. Google says Veo 3 has advanced style control and character consistency. Minimax says Hailuo AI supports similar features. The directional call from the evidence is that Veo 3's implementation is a step ahead. Veo 3 takes this one, and given that the evidence is directional rather than hard data, The safer pick for production work where consistency actually matters is the one Google is calling advanced. That ties the overall score at 2-2 going into the last test. Test 5. Platform availability and rate limits. 20 requests per minute versus 10. You hit the rate cap during a batch job at peak hours and your whole pipeline stalls. And that's not a minor inconvenience. That's a deadline problem. The rate limit is the ceiling you don't think about until you've already hit it. I checked the vendor docs and Hailuo AI's 20 requests per minute is double VO3's 10 RPM limit. VO3 lives inside Google's AI Studio and Vertex AI, which is great for enterprise Google Cloud workflows, but that 10 RPM cap is a real constraint when you're iterating fast, and the pipeline can't afford to queue. Hailuo AI takes platform limits, and the decisive reason is pretty straightforward. Double the request rate means half the pipeline stalls, which is the safer pick for anyone running high-volume workflows. That puts the final score at Hailuo AI 3, VO3 2. VO3 wins on output quality with that 84.0% LMA win rate, the top score on the leaderboard. It wins on keeping visuals consistent across shots, which is critical for any production that needs a cohesive look across multiple clips. And it integrates deeply with Vertex AI and Google Cloud, which is a real advantage for enterprise teams already in that ecosystem. Hailuo AI wins on price at 0.15 per second versus 0.40, which is 62.5% cheaper for the same duration of video. It wins on speed, rendering a 6-second clip in about a minute. And it wins on rate limits, giving you 20 requests per minute versus VO3's 10, so your pipeline doesn't stall when you're iterating hard. If you need the absolute best output quality and advanced visual consistency for production-critical work, pick VO3. But if you're iterating fast and that 62.5% price gap compounds into real money, Hailuo AI is the safer pick. One thing the docs don't spell out, neither VO3 nor Hailuo AI has a definitive maximum video length or resolution spec beyond 720p. I couldn't find a hard cap in either vendor's documentation, so if your workflow depends on anything above 720p, you need to test that before you commit to either platform at scale. If you're also looking at the broader AI video space, I ran the same kind of breakdown on Runway versus Sora, looking specifically at cost, and the winner there is not who most people expect. That video is called Runway versus Sora, which is cheaper, and it's worth watching back to back with this one